What I want to do right now is I want to break down to you what Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is, right? Because I don't think very many people really break down what it is. And I'm not saying anything about instructors or anything like that, but they don't really talk about what it is, what Jiu Jitsu is. And in my school, you know, I always talk to the white belts about this. This is my speech that I give to the white belts in the class so they can understand the concept of Jiu Jitsu, all right? I'm from the Elio Gracie side of Jiu Jitsu. The Elio Gracie side is always assumes that everybody who you are fighting is going to be bigger and stronger than you. And when you keep that in mind and come from that attitude that everybody is bigger and stronger, you will start working with technique as opposed to strength. Now, us big, huge guys, we have kind of an advantage because we can muscle things a little bit more. But we are really at a disadvantage in learning Jiu Jitsu because we're not really grasping the concept. Where smaller people have to be able to do the technique to be able to do it right. And so what I'm trying to say is I want to teach you and let you understand what the concept is so that you won't muscle. A lot of times in my class I'll see guys wrestling, and you guys who are doing the blue belts, and I'm going to give out your diplomas here pretty soon, all right? Don't worry about that. But we had a blue belt test yesterday, and you know, a few times I say, hey, you guys are muscling. And I say that in my class sometimes. I used to back in the day, I don't know, 5, 6 years ago. Guys would wrestle, and maybe they got to blue belt level, and I just seen them muscling and go for it. And I said, hey, you guys are using too much muscle. And that would really frustrate people. And nod your head if that frustrates you. If you hear, hey, you're muscling too much. And you go, well, I got to. Right? And I would say, hey, you're muscling. And what would happen is the blue belts, I'm just picking on the blue belts right now because they've gotten a degree of understanding about the moves. And they go, the blue belts go, well, I'm doing my best. I mean, I have to because you know, he's keeping me down and I'm trying and I've got the muscle. And you know, some of the moves that they would do, they'd muscle and it would work. And you go, well, Mr. Keith, it worked. So if it works, why can't I use it? And so then I'm arguing with them about, no, you really need to trust me. You need to use the proper technique. It's really supposed to be good. Well, why? Because what I'm doing is good. And then they get pissed, and I've even had people quit. They just would quit in frustration because they didn't understand what Jiu Jitsu is all about. Make sense? So now I teach this in my class, and what I get is I get a better quality student because they understand the concept of Jiu Jitsu, of what I'm trying to talk to them about. And what they understand about not muscling, all right? We're trying to find the right technique. I'm not the world's greatest jiu-jitsu wrestler, grappler in the world, all right? I think Marcelo Garcia might probably be somewhere up there like that. And although I've beaten Marcelo Garcia on a number of different occasions... Are we taping?
You too, baby.
Oh. There's no way. Marcelo Garcia is probably one of the best jiu-jitsu guys in the whole freaking world, pound for pound, all right? That's not me, all right? But what I am an expert in is I am an expert in understanding how the muscles can be taken at a disadvantage, all right? And attack a guy's weak muscle groups while at the same time using my strong muscle groups. And I'm going to take you on a tour of jiu-jitsu of what it is so you understand the basic premise of it, all right? I'm going to try to do this pretty quick so we can get into the moves. What I would like you to do right now is I would like you to take your hand and hold it just like this, all right? Now, hold it into you tight, just a little tight. All right, now he's a pretty big guy, right? If I were going to take my hand one-on-one, see my hand versus his hand, all right? We're equal here, and I try to push down. Don't let me push your hand to the floor, all right? That's all I ask you to do. All right. Now look, I'm going to have to get my body into it now to push. And look, I still can't get this. All right, now maybe if I use two hands, I can see. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say here is this is a very strong place for him. Elbow in. I can't take it to the ground. Now take it all the way into your body, nice and tight. Going right there. All right, I'm going to push it down to the ground. Right? You feel pretty good about that, don't you? That's pretty tight, right? Which we agree that that's a seriously good muscle group right there. So I try to, oh crap. So now what guys do is when they say muscle, they're trying to go like this. If there were a move like this that we're trying to do, they would go like this and start to push it down, and they're trying to use as much force as we can get. Now if it's a small guy, you can muscle through that. But big boy here, you can't do that, right? So what I want to do is I want to find the weak muscle groups for him and stop him from using it, all right? So what I'm saying is I'm right here, I'm trying to push, don't let me push it to the ground, okay? So I'm going right here, I'm pushing. What I want to do is I pull it out and down. You weren't ready for that, were you? One more time. So I'm pushing it down, I pull it out. Oh, and then it's down. You guys see that? You You can't say I did it on a small guy right there, huh? So we were totally tight, and I found his weak muscle group where he is not strong. He's strong here, but he's not strong here. See, I manipulated his weak muscle groups so that I could get what I needed. You see what I'm talking about? That's how we attack. So what I'm saying is Jiu-Jitsu is about the right angles. You know, we want to find angles. Don't go against his strong points, find his weak points. Does that make sense? So I'm right here, I've got this guy. You're in an armbar, tell me who's guilty of this. Duh! God, just I'm so close. Please, I want to win. How many have been here? Come on, you guys are liars. And we sit here and we go, oh, how you feeling right now? Yeah, look at this smirking. Yeah, I'm okay. Sure he's okay because he's a big, huge, strong dude. The key to this though, right, is we don't want to see, this is his strong muscle groups right here, right? Whereas weak muscle groups are at the 45-degree angles, and we need to remember this for today, is at the 45-degree angles. So I'm right here going here. I need to start going at a 45. How's that feeling for you? Right? You Eddie Bravo fans. Look, you remember I'm going at a 45 to get this guy. See, I'm going off at angles because he's weak right here. He's weak right here. And see, I'm taking advantage of the angles. That's Jiu-Jitsu. Okay? But what we do is we sit here, if only I were a little stronger. If only I could do. And we sit here and we're busted. Oh, but I'm using my back. Mr. Keegan said, screw that. I just want to go to the side and take this. All right?